So I'm at the tire place and I was planning to get my tires rotated and whatever they do. They can't do it because my back right tire is at 1. I mean, and I went and felt it. It actually is very worn. My other tires are at 4, so they're okay, but that one's at 1. Here's the thing. That means that I need an alignment. So an alignment, that's hundreds of dollars. New tires is hundreds of dollars, even if I don't get fancy tires. Yeah. Now there's a little bit of warranty on my tires, so there would be a discount, but still, I'm like going, it's one of those things where throwing more money into this car, does that actually make sense to do when I'm planning to get rid of it this year anyway? Or is this like a sign that I should go buy a new car this week? All right, this is something for me to go research, and I may go over to the super dealer and look at cars. Maybe. I'm in the Forester. The Outback costs so much more money, and also doesn't really feel bigger inside. It feels longer, but not bigger. And they only have one of them. This one, they have a mini, mini, mini. So I'm thinking I'll get a better deal on it too. So it's like 70 inches long. It's definitely longer. It doesn't have a gigantic amount of headroom that I thought I would be getting. I think I'm very tall on the top part of my body compared to other people. The Outback wasn't any different. So I don't think that really matters. The headspace in here actually is a little bit more. And so, yeah. Test driving. So I bought the car. I haven't signed the paperwork yet though, but they're doing it. I'll tell you about it later. Okay, yes, I just went and bought a car. This is kind of a brand thing for me to do. Oh, the car has a thing where it turns off at stoplights, and I don't like that. I don't know about that. Okay, anyway, it's full of stuff. I have to rearrange everything. It's amazing how much was in the Honda Civic. See how it's piled all the way up? This is because it's packed incredibly inefficiently. Stuff is like literally thrown in here. So I need to rearrange all this. I have no window coverings. All right, so we're finding new angles for the car, the new car. Is that better? Is that better for shooting? Oh my gosh, I can look how far back it goes. I didn't actually process that with my brain yet. Hi, this is a new car. I'm very excited. I'm very happy about it. I don't even know what most of the buttons do. I don't have window coverings. My stuff is all over and I have nowhere to sleep. That's fine though, because I've been this place before and this is much better. First, this is really nice. This is really nice. It is the Wilderness Edition. It's so sexy and I'm happy with it. So I did decide to get the Forester. I went in the Outback and went in the Forester. I have driven Outback before. And so I knew I kind of liked how these cars drive. They're super easy to drive. But the Forester's shaped differently and I liked how it was shaped. It's actually they're almost exactly the same square feet on the inside as far as cargo rooms goes, but they're shaped differently. And while the Outback is longer, so I would have had more room to sleep. Like if you're 6 foot tall, this isn't the car for sleeping in the back. But it's 70 inches from the end to the back of the seat. And actually that's without moving the seat up. And I think I can move the seat up. So yeah, I'm thinking it's not gonna be a problem. The problem is actually that I have all this stuff in here because before I had a trunk, right? So I am planning to put the crossbars on this and put a box on top and some of this stuff, not a lot, but some of the stuff will go up there. A huge amount of stuff looks crazy because it's just not organized at all. The first step is to organize. I also, for some reason, took the window coverings to the Civic, which I don't need, and they're not going to fit in here. I don't even understand why I did that. I could have just left them in there, but I did not. That's fine. So obviously I could go to many stores and buy sunshade for the front, but I can't for the many windows going around. So I honestly have not figured out what I'm going to do for sleeping for tonight or until I get window coverings that I would buy. Normally I would have bought them online, but I just decided to buy this today. So why did I do this today? Well, so here's the thing, is that I realized, I kind of knew that the Honda Civic is going to need more work. Apparently, since they did the inspection before they gave me a deal on the trade-in, I don't know if it was a deal, but I got them to give me $2 extra grand. So I guess I got a deal. But when they did the inspection, there's a hole in the oil pan, which is me going over things I shouldn't have been. It needs new tires. It needs an alignment. There's many cosmetic dents and stuff in the car, and it doesn't have seats. The sales guy actually thinks that they're going to buy seats and put it in there and sell the thing. They think they're going to make money on it, which I think is wild. I was actually expecting them to just wholesale it. So I got the deal that I wanted to get, and so I decided I had to go ahead and buy it. Interestingly enough, I told them that I had gotten a loan offer from my credit union, which is actually true. And they not just matched that interest rate, they actually went lower than that. So it was kind of interesting. I think, it's a good lesson if you're going to go in and buy a car and you're going to finance it at the dealership, get a quote from a bank or credit union or whatever before you go in. Even if you're not going to use the credit union or your regular bank, because you are in a much better position to negotiate. My sales guy is 19 years old. It was about the same age as my son. It was really kind of cute. He has no you know how sometimes people who sell cars get all jaded. He had zero jadedness. He was still all, excited to work with cars all the time. He loves cars, so it was really lovely. The finance guy was great. The person who actually made the deal annoyed the heck out of me, but whatever. I didn't have to deal with her that long. I was just like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm going to leave. And I was serious. I was like, I'm going to leave. She's like, what can we do to get you in this car today? I'm like, really? But she did. I was like, look, I can just take the car and sell it and I'll get more money than that. And this interest rate, the credit union and blah, blah, blah. And she came back and matched it all. So, all right, let's figure out what we're going to do with all this stuff, and mostly in a rearranging, because this is not going to work for me to sleep in it. So you can see that it does have window tint in the back, not super dark, but does have it. So we're just going to go with that and see how that goes. It does not have crossbars. Foresters don't come with crossbars for some bizarre reason, but pretty car. Okay, so first, this is the first time I put this up. Okay, the lights are on, excellent. And I'm making something to eat out here. So I'm gonna make a sandwich. I'm gonna make wraps. All right, so I realized I have to take my stuff. I have to go to the storage unit and put a whole bunch of stuff in the storage unit. I'm gonna put in stuff that I just don't need right now and pare this down to pretty much just bedding, food, and the clothes I'm gonna wear in the near future. Everything else is gonna go into storage. And then I will figure it out, because I need to have ways to store things, because this doesn't have a trunk in the same way. And I have window coverings, whatever. Also, for some reason, they give me 2 sets of floor mats. And so I have the other floor mats. I don't know why they do that, but whatever, it's fine. And I have the privacy thing, which I'm not going to use, but I will keep it. Because one thing I learned from this is that if I take out the seats, I'm keeping the seats. Because it definitely is true, as one might think, the car will have more value. But in the meanwhile, let's go ahead and make something to eat. I'm so hungry, I can't even. It is 3 o'clock, and I have not had a lunch. I did have a sandwich, and ate the last of my bread. So this has the Wilderness Edition stuff. It has mud flaps for some reason. And it has this nicer stereo. And okay, having this, I'm so excited. Oh my God. The fact that I can just stand here with this thing up. And there's lights here that I could turn on, but I have them all turned off, which is what I want, so I won't accidentally let my battery down. I can just stand here and make some food. Oh, anyway. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this car over to my storage unit and put in there everything that I don't actually have to live. And then I think somewhere in there I have my backpacking pad, and I'm going to use that to sleep on. Then the other thing that I will have to do today is figure out how to cover my window. Now, the best thing would be to buy window coverings, and that's what I was planning on doing. But I haven't done that because I bought this car so fast. My little turkey wraps. Oh, this just fell over. Okay. Figure out this car that I just bought. I'm not the kind of person who wants to deal with going into the dealer multiple times. Now, I'm willing to do that. If they wouldn't have made me a better, like say they first came back with a ridiculous deal of 9 point something % interest and only giving me $1,000 for the Civic. And I was like, never mind. They came back with a better deal. I paid $1,000 under MSRP and got way more value for my old car than I actually was expecting. So I totally am happy. I totally think I got a good deal. Now you might ask, why didn't I get a used car? So normally speaking, all things being equal, I think getting a car that's like 2 years old is better. This is a Subaru, okay? The Subaru Forester Wilderness Editions that are 2 years old only cost $2,000 less. I'd rather have a new one, you know, for $2,000. If that's what we're talking about. Also, on a brand new ones, they tend to give you a better deal on like the other stuff. I need to call my insurance. The interest on this will obviously be more than a 12-year-old Honda Civic. Obviously, I need to change all kinds of things on my channel, but I'm not going to do that yet because as of the time I'm recording this, there's 4 videos in the Honda Civic that are going to be up there, which apparently that was my last trip in the Honda Civic. I really didn't have time to say goodbye to the car, but I'm actually okay with that because I'm not one of these closure type people. I just pulled everything out of there and was like, here you go. And it was like full. There was garbage in there. It needed to be vacuumed out. There was like, I left the wood. I left the foam, you know, I left the cables. Godspeed. One thing I learned today is chains do not go in this car, apparently, but you can put cables, which I thought was interesting. I don't know why. It just said that you're not allowed to do that. But yeah, so what I have to do now, I came to the park thinking I could just rearrange everything, but looking in here, because I don't have a rooftop box and because I haven't done any kind of buildness, you know, I actually need to put some of this stuff in storage and get it down to just the things I use all the time, that I use every single day, and my bedding and like minimal clothes or whatever. Everything else, and food. Everything else is going to go in the storage unit so I can figure out how I'm going to sleep tonight. And until I do any kind of bed build, we'll see if I actually do a bed build. Maybe not. I'm going to do the minimal amount that I need to do, but I need to do the window coverings. Obviously, this has a slide thing. I wish cars all had slidey things that just close the windows. So I have to decide what I'm going to do. If I want to order them from where I got the window coverings before, they take a while. So that is not something that will get me window coverings today or tomorrow. I could order some from Amazon, maybe, and get them maybe tomorrow, but probably more like 2 days. But that doesn't help me between now and then. So what do? I also need to read the owner's manual. I don't know what any of these things mean. I mean, I obviously know some of them. I know how to change the mirrors. I know how to lock the doors. I know how the air conditioner works. Exactly. There's buttons and dials in this car. The speedometer isn't a number. It goes around. It's actual speedometer. There's so many things I really like. I really like about this car. It already has these little things that slide over. Remember I bought those? It already has them. So nice. Oh, here's the off for the lane thingy. Here's off for some sort of something with a star. This opens that. Here's the SOS button for the it's not OnStar, whatever the thing, Starlink. Here's an eye. I don't know what that's for. All the lights are off, which is what I would want anyway. Then there's a whole bunch of buttons to do with it has a small screen, which I really like, small screen. I don't know I have all these things for X mode, snow, dirt, snow, mud, push normal. So I don't have any mud or dirt or snow, so I'm okay with that. I'm thinking this is the parking brake. Parking brake? AVH. What's AVH? I don't know. View. Oh, view. That's not on. The car's not on though. So view, I agree. Oh, the ARC went on. Oh, that works that. How do I get a thing so I can see the front camera? I don't know. I'm going to turn the car off for now though. Reminder, look in rear seat. You might have something in the rear seat. How do I get the front camera on? Windshield wipers. So the windshield wipers in the same spot as my old car. Yay! Muscle memory will be able to work that. There are these little plus minus paddles because apparently I can manually shift. I'm excited about that when I drive. So in April, I'm going on a big trip. And this is the car I'm taking on that trip. Maybe I'll go see my land in New Mexico. I think I'm going to go see my land in New Mexico. I don't understand what half of these things actually mean in these little symbols. What's 0.041 gallon? What is that? I have no idea. Okay, so I took out a bunch of my stuff. I took out a bunch of my stuff and put it in my storage. Now what's in here is food, bedding, and clothes, as well as cooking stuff. And so I moved into storage, kind of emergency gear, extras of things, like my art stuff actually, my big giant art thing, because I don't actually need them right now. Now I obviously have not, oh I just messed it up. I obviously have not done a build in here, and I'm planning to not start out with a build. I want to do the minimum amount possible. It's loud. But I need to obviously have a place to sleep. And not one, I need to have a place to sleep tonight. Number two, I need to be able to cover up the windows. I could do a total gorilla sleeping and sleep in here without the windows covered. I plan to do something much more extensive eventually, of course, but we are not there yet. So if I leave the seats in, you have this space that needs to be bridged. Now, I actually wonder if this comes out. I can just pile stuff here, you know, like clothes and things. And if I do that, that could be where my feet go. You know, they don't need like sturdy support. And to be honest, probably my feet could just hang off and I could just curl up. So what I need to do is I don't have a pad, and I could not find my sleeping pad from my backpacking. I mean, it's in my storage unit, but my storage unit is a disaster right now, an absolute disaster. All right, you can kind of see what I'm planning to do. So the bed is here on this side, on the passenger side, and the stuff is on that side, because you don't need to see out of the windows in that corner. Like, you literally can't see them. They're behind your head. So there's no point in even trying to have those be seeable. Those back windows, I don't necessarily, like that one right there, I'm probably okay with covering up, but I'm not going to cover it up right this second. Got that stuff arranged. Before tonight, I do want to, I have to cover up the windows. And I also need to go back there in my bed and see if it's possible for me to sleep there with zero padding. I don't know. Buying a car in an impulsive way is a bit, when you live in it, is a little bit wackadoodle, but it already happened. So I have no regrets. And I really don't have regrets. I'm actually very, very happy. I'm very, very excited. I'm excited with this new adventure. I've been in this weird mood the last few weeks. I felt very stuck, and now I feel unstuck. And this will be the vehicle I have. I can spend money on it. I can do modifications of it or whatever. Like, this is the vehicle for the next 10 or 15 or whatever, many more years. So I'm excited. But I'm also slightly overwhelmed right now. But I am reserving that if for some reason I get back there tonight or this evening when I go back there and I realize I can't sleep back there without something more than what I just did, without just random blankets, that's okay. Then I will go get a motel. And that's, how it is. All right, now I'm going to think about window coverings. Okay, I think they actually carry upholstery foam at Home Depot. So I'm going to go see, because what the heck am I doing? Like, I need to sleep on something. So I'm going to go over to Home Depot and look at that. My significant other might have some of that silver stuff that I could use to make window covers, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is literally better than nothing. And then I can do something better on another day. If they don't have that anymore or whatever, then I'll just buy some when I'm at Home Depot. I eventually want to make more sophisticated window covers or buy them, but I need something on day one, right? I have to start out with something so I can sleep tonight. Because the goal right this second is just do enough so I can sleep tonight. I also need to figure out what Subaru people do with the seatbelt, because that's just, I feel like I'm going to decapitate myself when I sit up. So I need to fix that. This is not the kind of foam I want. I want high density polyurethane foam. This is crap foam. But I need something. I need it ASAP. Okay. This is to make a bed that's okay. Not good, but okay. Right now, okay is what we're going for. Minimal okayness. All right, so to get this in here, we're going to take out and roll up or whatever some of this stuff, including the thing this is on. Put you over there. Guys, this yeah, to go around. There we go. Right. All right, you see if it's here. You see if it's there. Okay, now it's to make the bed. This is a lot better than I thought. Okay, now all my stuff is still in the car, just piled up in a crazy way. So let's put all the, I'm gonna go turn off the headlights. Okay, so I went on WeatherTech's website and they actually don't have rain guards for this car. So I'm gonna have to look at a different kind of rain guard or I could just order the 2023s and see if they work. I don't know. I'm not happy about that, but here we are. Okay, so it is 6:39 p.m. I have some different options for sleeping time. Option number one is I just sleep without window covers. The windows are tinted, not super dark, but if I have no lights on inside, I don't know. So that's number one. Number two is I do that, but like across the street, like in the same street where my significant other lives. I normally don't want to park there all the time because I don't want the neighbors to be upset, but this way I'd be really close in case something happened. Option number three is to sleep in my significant other's RV, and then leave my car in the driveway. Or I guess I sleep in the car in the driveway, I don't know. But so like I obviously option number four is to go get a motel room. Option number five is to put up window covers. So I have Reflectix and I have scissors in here. Also, I need to see, am I actually able to get back there? I'm gonna actually also take off my jewelry. So one of the things about a car is I had all kinds of stuff, especially a car you live in. I had all kinds of stuff in all kinds of little cubbies. And none of those things, for the most part, are in any cubbies right now. They're all just piled up. And that's one of the reasons everything is a big, giant mess, is because nothing is in a cubby. So there's that. I came here to the library parking lot, which is where I'm at right now, because there's really good lighting here. And so my thought is I'd be able to do this even though it is nighttime, and I'd still be able to do this little project. I also need to eat something, but my food is back there and I should be able to get to it. So I have no lights in here besides my phone, which is on purpose because everything's in my storage unit right now, until I get things better arranged. I'm gonna have to give myself some more water, but that's fine for right now. Okay. All right, so let me see if let me look and see how the car locks and unlocks. I want to make sure that I actually lock the car with the keys inside, because that kind of concerns me. Okay, yes, I can lock the car with the keys inside. And my significant other, I actually tested it. They were sitting here with the keys inside, and then I tried to pull the door, but I just wanted to do it myself and see that the door is locked. So it definitely works. The bed definitely works. It's not completely flat. There's a weird thing in the middle, but that's okay for right now. This foam is adequate. It's fine for right now. Whew, okay, so now let's look at trying to cover up some of these windows so I can sleep. Okay, first shower after the first night in the car, and I don't have any underwear or undershirts in the car, so that made that interesting. I accidentally put them in my storage unit yesterday when I was throwing, a quarter of my stuff in there just so I had more room. So you can see that if you walk up to it, you actually can see in, but far away you can't really. And you can kind of see that there's stuff, but not too bad. Hey y'all, so I had night number one in the car. I did not have window coverings, which made things interesting. All right, hold on, let me put this back. But 3 inches of foam. So I went to Home Depot and I needed foam just to sleep in tonight, last night, I mean. And so I got Home Depot's website said it had 4-inch foam and 6-inch foam, high density foam, And so I went there and they were I think I found what they were way up on the high shelf. But then there was this 3-inch foam that was lower, that was a different color, that was black instead of like that kind of peachy, whatever color. And so I went and talked to a guy and I was like, can you get something off the high shelf? And I was like, how much is it? He's like, oh, well, there's this right here. It's the same thing. It's just different color. And I'm like, anyway, I actually decided just to go ahead and get 3 inches because maybe that actually is enough, right? So, because also the more I put, the less clearance I have here, you know? So the 3 inches of foam was totally fine to sleep last night. The $30 foam from Home Depot. So if that works out, then that's super cheap for my bed bill. And so there's the thing about doing the build in this new vehicle. I learned so many lessons from living in a Honda Civic. One of the lessons is do the minimum build that you can do to sleep, exist, live well. And my current plan for this is to have no build, not take out any seats, nothing, and just do a no build in the Subaru Forester. Because if I can do that, it just makes so many things easier, right? So many things easier and cheaper. And we'll see. I might do some kind of build-ish thing for my stuff, but not right now. Right now, I'm just going to keep with the containers and stuff because the things I need to figure out what goes where. One of the things I realized when I was emptying out the Honda Civic into the Subaru Forester in the parking lot of the dealer, which was bizarre, stressful experience while the sales guy stood there and watched me, not because he was, being mean. He was like, the dealer then owned the Honda Civic. So they were waiting for me and they're actually going to sell that thing. They're going to put seats in it. I'm going to check on their website, in a week or two and see if it's up there for sale and see what they're selling it for. Anyway, it was a good lesson in that if you take out the seats and don't keep them, it does affect the value of the car. Obviously it does, right? But anyway, so I realized that I had a whole bunch of stuff in all kinds of little places. That's one of the things you do when you live in your vehicle is all the little pockets in the doors and the center consoles and all the places have stuff. And right now all that stuff is just thrown into my junk basket, which is fine. I have multiple other containers. I have bins, I have containers, I have organizers that were bought for the Honda Civic that may not fit in here right. Like I may need something else, but I'm not going to get any of those things till I figure out the configuration. So last night I slept with my pillows in the back, and that was mostly because I had to pick which one way or the other, and I just did it that way, right? Now up here, I don't have any kind of extender underneath my foam above the space. So there's a space in between where the seat folds down, the back seat, and where the front seat is. There's a space right there. And I have nothing there except for like my sleeping bag is there, which I don't plan to necessarily keep in the car. It was actually only in the Honda Civic to provide support for me sleeping at an incline. But I could just not put any sort of formal thing there and just have stuff there, So right now I have my sleeping bag. I'm actually thinking maybe I'll put my clothes there. I don't know. I haven't decided. Second thing I learned about the Honda Civic is it takes time to figure out what configuration works in that particular vehicle. And even if you've lived in other vehicles, other RVs before, whenever you get the new thing, you have to figure out what goes in what cabinets or what goes in what containers and what containers need to go where. And that's true if you move into a house or apartment too, right? And you can put things away. And I think it's a good idea to put things away in a first draft, in a first idea. But that's a lot of times not what is the best for the flow of that particular room or space. So how I have things right now is definitely not right. I'm planning to take today. I'm going to rearrange my schedule. I was going to have tomorrow be my kind of day off, but I'm going to have today be my day off. And I'm going to rearrange stuff in here. I will go to my storage unit and get my underwear. No, I'm not wearing dirty underwear. I'm just not wearing any at all. I'm wearing leggings, so it's not terribly uncomfortable, but I definitely want to have some. Not the first time this has happened if you've watched all my videos. Anyway, so I need to arrange stuff in what the first draft is going to be. I mean, this is not even a first draft. This is just throwing stuff in here so I can sleep and have my food and things with me. I mean, pretty much what I just have is my things I use every day, all my food stuff, most of my cooking that was in the Honda Civic, but not everything, but enough so I could cook today if I wanted, and my bedding and my bed. And the only thing I've bought so far is the foam. And then I did go on WeatherTech and buy the window coverings last night. I had them I paid for overnight shipping. They won't be here today though, because I ordered it like 7 o'clock. So they'll be here tomorrow, but that's fine. Just 2 nights without window coverings. Not the best. So yeah, that's where we are. Now it is 5 something in the morning. I only slept like 4 hours last night. I had a lot of trouble sleeping, not because of my bed or even because the windows weren't covered, but because getting rid of my old car and buying my new car was so much like change. And so the thing is, I enjoy change and thrive off change. I love traveling to new places and going to do new things and changing things up in my life. But this is moving effectively, right? It's like moving from one house to another or one apartment to another. And I did it all in one day. I made a decision and did the moving all in one day. So it actually reminded me a lot of the day I moved out of my apartment because of the stress and everything, and also how it felt to be in a different space that feels different. But it's like, this is my stuff, but it's a different space. I mean, it smells like a new car in here still, right? Which is nice, but also it is different. All my stuff is in different places. I'm not even quite sure where some of my things are. Obviously, it's true because I didn't have my underwear stuff is in my storage unit, which is not helpful. It's very unsettling. That's how I feel. Unsettled. My routine yesterday was completely messed up. I didn't eat a lot of my meals that I normally would eat in a day. So I'm actually hungry right now, which I'm going to get something to eat, but I'm just very unsettled. I don't know where my organizer is. It's in here somewhere, I'm hoping. But it is like, I mean, I know it's not in my Civic. There's one thing I forgot. I forgot my, what's that thing called? My Flex Pass thing that sticks on, like, it was stuck behind the rear view mirror and I left it in there. So I need to go into my account and turn that off, disconnect it from my account. That's what a waste. And so I'll have to get a new one sometime, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I actually didn't use it really that often, so I don't think it actually really matters. I don't know if I'll get a new one. I'll just let it be charged to my license plate because I never drove in the lanes. I only got to go over bridges, but now they just charge your license plate, so I don't think it actually matters. I started doing some research on rails. The Subaru Wilderness Edition vehicles, apparently the rails are different or something like that, but I don't need to do that right this second. And then I'll get a box to go on the top too. But yeah, I don't need to do that right this second. What I need to do, I probably will do that before I go on my next big trip, but I'm not going on a trip for a month. So I have this next month, the month of March, right now it's the end of February. The month of March is going to be kind of the shakedown of the new vehicle. So I'll get my window coverings. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do about rain guard. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do about the cross rails for the roof rack. I'm putting a box up there. I'll figure out what's going to be in the car and what the configuration is going to be, because what I want to be able to do is cook inside this car. That is one of the reasons I got that. It does not have as much head clearance as I thought it was going to. I think, so here's the thing. I had people tell me, oh yeah, I have a Subaru Outback or I have a Subaru Forester and I can sit up and back and cook. And I don't think they're lying, right? Why would they do that, right? But when I went and sat in this vehicle and in the Outback even has less up and down clearance. I realized I'm very lengthy in the top part of my body. Like, so I'm 5'7", but I have a long torso. And I think that's different than other people, which I remember back when I used to wear one-piece swimsuits when I was like a teenager. I could never find anything that fit me. And I was very happy when the tankini was invented because then I could actually fit in suits and not be horribly uncomfortable or have to find long torso suits. So I think that might be what it is, that other people have clearance. I don't, because I cannot sit up straight and have room here. It's not that different than my old car, which is a disappointment. I'm not regretting buying this vehicle at all because I would have to go on to something significantly different to be able to sit up and not have to move my neck a little bit. I can cook in here because I will have access to all my stuff. I'm thinking that I would want to sit up front here, closer to the front when I'm in the back to cook, because it has the highest clearance is in the front versus the back. Because it kind of goes down, you know? So yeah. All right, I'm going to go get some bars. I'm super hungry because yesterday I did not eat enough food. My blood sugar, I haven't actually taken my blood sugar yet because I haven't found my blood sugar thing, but I'm going to do that before I eat. But I'm sure that my blood sugar is wackadoodle because I had to, at 3:30 in the morning, I woke up and felt like I had to pee. And it wasn't because I ate too much food. It's because of stress and anxiety. One of the things that people don't understand when they don't really know about how diabetes works is blood sugar is affected by like 40 something different factors. And what the food that you eat is only one of them. Exercise is only one of them. So there's so many other things, and including being stressed. So yesterday was very stressful. Not bad stress. It was good stress, but it was stressful, right? All right. So I got my new place for my phone to go when I'm driving, and I already had that. And I've reorganized this whole area, which is about how I think I'm going to want it. Sort of. My big battery is actually way down in there. That actually might be a good place for it because I can charge from up here down under there, and I could plug things into it. I might put it back here for use for cooking, but I'm not setting up that stuff quite yet. Side note, I'm actually really glad I did that full tour of the Honda Civic because that was it. That was the last configuration. And sometimes I do videos that, while obviously it's for my YouTube channel, in a lot of ways it's for me. I can go back and watch that video and see what the configuration was, what my reasoning was for all those things. Okay, good morning. It's actually light, so you can see what's going on in the car. I've organized up here for the most part. I'm sure I'm going to change things around, and actually I'm thinking I'm going to take the battery and put it back there. The battery's only up here for a place for it to go. But the first draft of the front is done, which is very, very good. And this bag is just stuff to put into storage. So the back, I've been kind of working on in my head. I'm not going to do it when I'm just in this parking lot here at CVS. I'm waiting for the park to open, which opens at 8, which is in minutes. So my bed is here. I might switch the back to the front to the back, but I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to first set up the food situation and the clothes and the other stuff. And I'm really trying to figure out where I'm going to put all those things. So right now, accessing bars and stacks is actually really hard, and that's not good. That needs to be the easiest stuff for me to get. So I'm going to see if I can put my containers the other direction instead of this way. Out at the back, it needs to be accessible for outdoor cooking. Maybe you need to actually cook literally back there, That would be nice. And then right behind me is going to be set up to do, I just changed the setting on this headrest. That wasn't what I wanted. Okay. Right behind me is the cooler, and that's going to be the top of where I'm going to cook on the inside when I'm cooking with electric, which is one of the goals here, is to be able to cook with electric. So I think that's going to be my little electric cooking station, which means that my kind of pantry food and my spices and stuff need to be accessible for both spaces. So that will be kind of in the middle. And then also this organizer needs to, like this blue one, needs to be a little bit over. It's kind of on top of my bed slightly. And then the spaces underneath where the back passenger's feet would go are just like stuff is just literally thrown in there. So I need to reorganize that space and those spaces and utilize them better. I have to see, is there a way to actually access them from inside the car or not? Because if not, then that needs to be things like, emergency gear or some things that I don't need to access when I'm cooking inside. One of the things I need to access when I'm cooking inside, I think, is water to some extent. But I eventually will have at least 2 things of water. So I might have one that's put away and then one that's actually out. So that is the plan when we get to the park, is to futz around with that. I kind of rescheduled my week so that way today I could just focus on all these things. I already emailed the insurance company. I changed over Fast Track, which is the pass for going over bridges for tolls and stuff like that around the San Francisco Bay Area. I set up the app on my phone for the car, so that way if I lock myself out, I could just and I have the phone. Then I can get back in. Yes. And I checked all my messages. I answered all the YouTube comments. I've done a whole bunch of things this morning. I feel congested. I don't know what's up with that. And I also need to kind of arrange where the CPAP stuff is going to be, as well as part of that. It'll probably go in that container, but it's not there right now. Yeah. So we're in good shape. I'm still feeling very happy about it. There are things that aren't quite what I thought, but that's always true. And to some extent, one of the other lessons I learned from the Civic is you can't plan these things ahead of how the setup's going to be and how the build will work or how you're going to organize things. You have to be in the space, especially with a vehicle, living in a vehicle. Everything is shaped weirdly. Nothing is squared off. Their dimensions are never exact because when they post dimensions online, it's like the longest dimensions, not all the little bumpy things and stuff like that. I mean, cars are just, they're not boxes. They're these, they're kind of streamlined shapes. So there's in the inside, there's all these like things attached to stuff. So yes, I understand what a lot more of the buttons are, which is good. So that's very good. I'm still working on it. Oh, and by the way, when I got from the back seat to the front seat this morning at 4 a.m., I honked the horn with my foot. So that's fun. Hopefully that didn't wake anybody up. That was not stealthy. So now I know what this is. It's telling me how much fuel I'm allegedly saving by the car turning off at each light, which is actually kind of interesting. Okay, y'all. So I have the first draft of the car. Okay. This is a super, super fast little tour. So up here, I have a lot of the same things up in here in front, but my spray bottle, there's a place for water bottles to go. So my spray bottle is right here in the door. This would be so great during the summer. So I got spray for myself to cool off. I'm expecting this will have good air conditioning, but it's not hot outside. So we're not really testing out here. I have my suckers up here, which I usually have. And the same thing that I had before, which was my allergy medicine, and then very similar things up here and in my, like the exact same things really. My junk basket is here, my backpack is here, my lap desk is here. This is all kind of the same thing. Now, since I kept the seat, I have a place to hang my towels. So that's nice. This towel's actually already dry, so let's move that out of the way so these guys can dry. Oh, that fell down. That wasn't a good place to put it. Okay, so in here, my bag for going to the gym, water, containers, propane, my stove, obviously my cooler, my thing that is a cooler but has my spices in it. Then here's my cooking with electricity stuff. This is just here to cover up a battery. So I have my 2 batteries are right under here. Dirty laundry, my clothes bag, which will be up here when I go to bed. And this will probably go up there when I go to bed. All right, so you can see here, my bed here. And then these are my food containers and my cooking outside container, my exercise stuff. Here's my little container that actually is kind of a mess right now, but it has my stuff that needs to go by my bed, Bali Bear, and my clothes. So, and the clothes will come up here when I go to bed. But I have it down there just so I can see out really well. We'll come over this side. A nice place to put extra shampoo so it won't fall over. Laundry detergent. This sleeping bag is pretty much here just so the stuff doesn't fall down. It probably won't go there forever. And then here I have, down there are those pillows that I used to have on my bed that are super uncomfortable, but they have stuff in them. I will probably change that out in the future. And iced tea, and then for laundry. Then over here, I have bug spray and spray sunscreen. I have my container that has like my organized books and all that kind of stuff. Not all my books are in here that I want in here. Medicine, emergency gear, 1 pair of shoes. So I definitely plan to put more things in here. First, I'm gonna put a rooftop box on, not right now, in the future, because I've decided what rails to get, rooftop box to get. You know, the expensive ones are expensive. Are they actually worth it? Maybe they are. Maybe it makes sense to wait to get one until I can get the super fancy one. But I need to research that and figure it out. The window coverings are coming tomorrow, which will be very good. The rain guards I'm going to have to research because WeatherTech doesn't have the rain guards that I like. There is, you know, manufactured rain guards, but they're the ones that stick on the outside. Most of the other ones stick on the outside, but those sometimes blow off in the wind. I was really hoping like the ones that go in your window, those can be removed. Like I think that's a much better idea, but I don't know. So I'm very happy with my configuration. There's a couple things that I'm gonna have to get used to. One of them is people like up here in the front. I'm not gonna ever like black out the front, you know? And so right now, my laptop bag is up here. This is not a good place for it to stay, right? All the time. But I can put it back here, put it under a blanket, whatever. It is not like the most secure thing ever, but at least it just looks like someone sleeping in their car as opposed to having a whole bunch of electrical stuff that's good to steal. I tried out the Apple Play, and which I've never had before, and listened to music on the nice speakers, because these nice speakers come with the Wilderness. Like, they all have this, the one that has Starlink and nice speakers. I sent a text message via Siri through the car, you know, and then the car read the text message back to me. So that's neat. That's neat. That will be nice when I'm driving, when I'm going on a trip. Now, obviously, I won't be going on a big trip anytime soon, partially because I haven't scheduled it, but also because the first 1,000 miles, you're not supposed to like use cruise control on the highway for hours and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just pretty much doing very easygoing street driving for a little while, which is fine because that's actually, I'm not planning to go on a big trip for another month. So hopefully I'll have 1,000 miles by then, most likely. Most likely I will, or I'll be close to it. And if not, then I start going on my trip, then I'll just not use the cruise control and I will change my speed around and stuff like that as I drive. Okay, so it will be much better when I have window coverings for nighttime. That is definitely for sure. But besides that, I have everything in my car that I feel like I really need. Now, there's a lot of stuff's not in here. I don't have any of my hiking stuff. There's a little bit of emergency gear that I don't have, but it's not vital stuff. It's kind of extra emergency gear. I don't have like any kind of decoration things like that plate that my dad made. Like, there's just some things that aren't in here yet because there's nowhere for them to go. So I'm not having stuff in here that doesn't have a place to go. We're gonna test out the cooking with electricity thing, not today, on some other day, and I will see which of my electrical things work well in here, especially when I don't have rain guards. So it's going to be raining. Today is Tuesday. It's supposed to rain, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That'd be a great time to cook inside, but I don't have rain guards. So venting is awkward without rain guards. So that is the next thing to buy, since I have the window coverings ordered. Oh, the other thing I ordered is the gap filler. I should have taken it out of my other car, but I didn't. And I already dropped my phone in between the seat and the console. So definitely need the gap filler thing. So I ordered that. The one I already owned doesn't exist anymore, but whatever. There's a gazillion of them on Amazon. I ordered that. That actually is already here, and I am going to go pick that. Is it already here? Yes, I think it's already here. Amazingly, I ordered it last night late. So I'll put that in there today, and then, yeah. So this is the first setup. I'm very happy. Actually, you know what? My shirt matches the car. The car is so pretty. It feels so much safer. I mean, first it has like all these things. Apparently I go over the right line all the time. It has all these safety features, right? And also the car works. It's a brand new car. So I feel better. Like, I'm not going to just randomly have a gazillion problems. Obviously you still can, it could be a lemon, whatever, but statistically speaking, a car that's 12 years old and has over 100,000 miles, even a Honda, is going to have more problems than this. And some of the problems the Honda had were purely because it wasn't high clearance, and I, poked a hole in the oil pan, driving on roads that apparently I shouldn't have, even though it said it was okay, because I was trusting what the National Park said about the road, and they were not right. Yay! All right, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to sign off on this video. The next time I will talk about the car and the build, I'll probably have a new iteration of, because one of the things, the big thing I learned from living in a Honda Civic for 9 months is that it is constantly changing and evolving, and you figure out what works. And so this is just draft 1, and we're going to see how this goes. And then I will add on new features or whatever, or modifications to the vehicle and new stuff inside. But this, for right now, I think is what works. Again, this is Elizabeth Off-Road. If you want to say hi, feel free to leave a comment below. Thumbs up, subscribe. See you next time. Bye-bye.